Okay, so we have Curtis Sliwa, who after decades of having a pretty impactful and impressive career is being turned into a meme on the internet, but now also at the same time, he's facing threats from his own boss to basically be fired or quit the race. For those who are just seeing the memes and don't know a lot about Curtis Sliwa, who's running for mayor of New York City, he did actually have a really big impact founding the Guardian Angels in the 1970s because crime was at an all-time high and he created the civilian police force, which actually did help reduce crime, and now it's in 130 different cities, so he's definitely an impressive guy on that front. But all that said, he's not going to win. There's only 2 to 3 weeks left in the election. He's polling under 20%. Zoran has over double the support, and Andrew Cuomo does have notably more support than he has. There are a lot of people in New York City who are afraid of Zoran Mandami, myself being a New Yorker who's not a big fan of him. I don't think rent control is going to work. I don't think free buses are good, especially when 48% of people just walk on for free. I don't think government-run grocery stores are going to work because they failed in Arizona, and I'm just not a huge fan of this guy, and I am looking for a more moderate option. Sadly, that more moderate option for mayor is Andrew Cuomo, who is a disgraceful person. He left office as governor in disgrace because he had controversies with how he treated women, which was totally wrong. He also wasn't the best governor on the budget, regulation, or the economy. He was really bad during COVID, where he locked New York City down way too long, and he's just somebody who does take a lot of money from special interests, so I can understand why people might want a Zoran versus someone like him, even though I think Zoran's views are insane. There's a small chance, very small, that if Curtis Sliwa drops out, Andrew Cuomo could win because almost all of his support goes to Andrew Cuomo. But even then, they're still barely within the margin of error. Zoran does have an advantage there, and that's also expecting that every Curtis Sliwa voter would actually know that he did drop out, which is not clear they can get the news out in just 2 weeks on that. So even if this were to happen where Curtis Sliwa drops out, I would only give a 10-20% chance of victory to Andrew Cuomo, and I think it would just rally more Zoran voters who are going to have a higher turnout like what happened in the primary. That brings us to John Katzmatidis, who's a multi-billionaire in New York City who actually ran for mayor and lost in 2013, and he owns the radio station that Curtis Sliwa currently works at, so he's actually putting a lot of pressure on Curtis Sliwa right now to drop out, and some people are actually saying he's threatening to take away Curtis Sliwa's show in the event he doesn't drop out and endorse Andrew Cuomo. At the end of the day, I just don't think it matters. Zoran's ideas are not good. A $30 minimum wage would destroy the economy in New York City and not be helpful. Rent control has been opposed by even left-wing economists, where Paul Krugman said it would be easier to just send bombs to a city than put rent control in. And I also think the government-run grocery store would fail like it did in Arizona and Chicago. But at the same time, the Democrats put Cuomo up. That was somebody who they were betting on. Nobody else challenged him, and the voters came back with Zoran. So I think the Democrats just have to eat, what they sowed right here. And for Curtis Sliwa, if he drops out, it might help. It might give a chance, but he'll still ultimately probably lose. But with that, I'm Charles Prawl. This is Red, Blue, and You. Please subscribe to learn something.